I caught Jessica, my wife, cheating with her boss while on a delivery. When she was pregnant, she kicked me out, and used the child to force me to demean myself for that small business owner like a dog. After our divorce, I teamed up with his ex-wife to set a trap. Now he's bankrupt, scavenging for scraps, and lost everything and any hope of a future legacy. She's deep in massive debt, being hunted down by creditors, hiding in a dark, dingy rental apartment, not even daring to show her face. I suspect my boyfriend is cheating. Could you take a picture of the people inside when you deliver the food? If not, I'll leave a bad review. I'm a delivery driver, and this wasn't the first time I'd received an order like that. Helping people catch cheaters was quite thrilling. Sometimes, when the people inside saw my phone at the door, they'd frantically run away or yell at me, clearly incredibly guilty. Those kinds were always hiding something. On the other hand, the ones who openly left their doors ajar and asked me to delete the photos usually had nothing going on. There were risks involved too. I once encountered someone with a bad temper, who immediately tried to hit me. In those cases, I'd quickly get out of there, then inform his wife that there was another woman in the room. What happened next wasn't my concern. After accepting this order, I immediately added the woman on the messaging app. Delivering food was one thing, running an errand to catch a cheater was another. These were two separate tasks, requiring two payments. I wouldn't acknowledge a message left in the app's backend. The woman reluctantly sent me a digital payment and a voice message. These delivery drivers nowadays, only caring about money, she grumbled. It's just a quick favor to take a picture. Why are you making such a big deal out of this? I ignored her derogatory remarks, accepted the digital payment, and casually replied, "All right, Mom, I'm on my way. Let them say what they want. Nothing is more important than making money." Soon, the food was ready. I delivered it as quickly as possible. I first activated my phone's camera function, then pressed the doorbell. "Hello, your delivery is here." After a few presses, a woman's voice came from inside. "Honey, the delivery is here." A woman. There really was a woman in there. I instantly got excited, eagerly waiting for the door to open. The man who opened the door was thin, and pale, and somewhat gaunt, like he'd been burning the candle at both ends. "Seems to be living quite well, doesn't he?" The man looked at me suspiciously. I didn't order any delivery. I held my phone to my chest, and replied, "Maybe your girlfriend ordered it then. The address is definitely correct." "I didn't order delivery either." A clear woman's voice spoke, and it sent shivers down my spine. Why did that voice sound exactly like Jessica's? I looked up in shock and saw a tall, beautiful woman walking out of the room, wearing only a tank top and shorts. Her ample chest seemed about to burst out, and her pale thighs swayed provocatively. And this woman was Jessica, my Jessica. Just now. Did she really call that man honey? Jessica noticed my gaze and quickly covered her chest. "What are you looking at, you pervert?" Just as I was about to speak, the man pushed me, then slammed the door shut. Outside the door, I was trembling with rage. Why was Jessica here? Didn't she tell me she was going out to get a facial, spa treatment? Calm down, calm down. What if I was mistaken? Besides, the woman's reaction just now clearly showed she didn't recognize me. I took a deep breath and sent Jessica a text on the messaging app. "Jessica, are you done with your facial, spa treatment? I'll come pick you up." She replied almost instantly, "Done. I'm shopping with friends. I'll be back later tonight." As far as I knew, Jessica's best friends, girlfriends were all working in another state. With things like they are, how could they suddenly come all this way to see her? I sent another message. "Which friend? Do I know them? Let me video call you. I need to see where you are." The moment I sent that message, I immediately made a video call, not giving her any time to breathe. However, after a few rings, the call was disconnected. Jessica sent an angry emoji. "GIF. What are you doing? Didn't I say I was with friends? Calling me now is so rude, lacking manners." I didn't know what was rude, lacking manners about me, her lawful husband, calling her. But as luck would have it, her paramour's door wasn't very soundproof. I just leaned against the door and heard a phone ringing inside. It was the video call ringtone Jessica had personally chosen. She used to say it was exclusively for me, that she'd know it was me as soon as the phone rang. Now, I realize it was probably to guard against me. She was getting hot and heavy out there, and my call just gave her a heads up. How ironic. I stared at that door for a long time, memorized the apartment number, and then left. There was no lingering hope left now. Jessica was definitely cheating, having an affair on me, and with such a worthless pretty boy, no less. She hadn't recognized me just now, probably because I was wearing my helmet, and she couldn't see my face clearly. My phone buzzed. It was her lover's girlfriend. "Did you deliver the stuff?" Is anyone home? It was only then that I noticed, in my shock, that I hadn't turned off the video recording. I cut off the latter half of the video, keeping only the part where the man pushed me out of the room. The video was short, but it was enough to capture Jessica clearly. After I sent the video, the woman immediately flipped out, went ballistic, sending me a barrage of messages on the messaging app. I knew that guy was no good, a piece of work. Knock on the door again. Slap them both for me. I'll pay more. I'll pay more. I sat in the stairwell, taking a deep drag from my cigarette. Just 2 slaps. What good would that do? Would that be enough to get my revenge? I couldn't swallow this insult. 3 years ago, I married her, paying a massive sum for the wedding, all given to her brother. All the money I'd earned over the years had gone to her family. I had my resentments, but I'd always been sincere with her. I never expected this to be the end result. My phone kept buzzing, the woman continuously sending messages, venting her dissatisfaction. I put out my cigarette, and replied, "A few slaps won't satisfy you. I have a better method for revenge. Want to try it?" The other party clearly paused, then after a long silence, asked, "Who are you?" "The husband of the woman in the video." The other party didn't send any more messages. I wasn't in a hurry. I knew she'd definitely seen it. I put away my phone, and rode my scooter home. I quit. Let whoever wants to do it, do it. When I got home, I sent the apartment complex address to a friend. Coincidentally, my friend worked in that area, and quickly looked it up. The owner was Richard. The name sounded familiar. Wasn't that Jessica's small business owner? Her small company was, at most, a tiny outfit. How could that small business owner afford to buy a small apartment, condo specifically for keeping a mistress, secret apartment for his mistress? No wonder the door wasn't even soundproof. That night, I did everything I could to investigate that small business owner thoroughly. I even signed up for several background check sites, information services to do it. This Richard was indeed much richer than me, a lot richer. Jessica being involved with him was very likely just for the money. And my money. I drained my savings to marry her, and in the end, I had nothing left. My wife even ran off with someone else. If word got out, it's so pathetic it would make anyone shake their head. I cursed those scumbags, the cheating couple 1,000 times in my mind, determined to get all my hard-earned money back before divorcing. It was already midnight when Jessica finally came home. Midnight. That woman stayed out until midnight before bothering to return. Before I could even open my mouth to question her, Jessica started yelling, "What are you doing home so early? Don't you know you make more money at this time? How dare you come back so soon?" My temper flared. Before, I always worked until 2 or 3 in the morning for the higher commissions, just to earn a bit more. You're out cheating, and I'm still working like some idiot. Wouldn't that make me out of my mind, insane? But I didn't give myself away. Show my hand. I said nonchalantly, "Why are you back so late? Which friend were you with? It's not safe out late at night." Jessica's expression showed no hint of discomfort. I lost track of time chatting, but I took a cab downstairs, so it was safe. "Oh," I replied, my tone indifferent, flat. "You took a cab back. Your friend didn't see you off." Jessica didn't reply, apparently too lazy to engage with me. I casually added, "I recall the only person you're close with here is your small business owner, right?" The moment I said that, it was like I had hit a nerve, triggered her. Jessica erupted in a furious tirade. "What do you mean by that? Are you suspecting me of cheating? Suspecting me of sleeping with, having an affair with the small business owner? You useless, incapable man. What right do you have to suspect me? I earn more money than you do." So she was getting flustered. Listening to her curses, I clenched my fists. Her lousy job used to pay only 2,000 or 3,000, but a few months ago, it suddenly jumped to 8,000, significantly higher than my salary. Now that I thought about it, it was all because of Richard. They must have started something back then. I took a deep breath and pretended to be innocent. "Why are you suddenly so angry? I was just asking about your relationship. I didn't say I suspected anything." Jessica was overbearing, intimidating. "Did I ask you to ask? Let me tell you, I want you to earn $1,000 for me, these next few days." $1,000. I was somewhat shocked. I only make a few dollars per delivery. You just casually demand 1,000. Do you think money grows on trees? Jessica looked me up and down, her disdain unconcealed. "How can you not even come up with $1,000? My brother needs a new phone. I'm giving him 3,000, so you can't even give him 1,000. The way she spoke, spending money on her brother seemed perfectly normal to her. The contempt in her tone made me sick. I stood up and moved closer to Jessica. "The money you earn is marital assets, shared assets. No matter how much you give him, Half of it is mine. Did you get my permission? Is your brother incapable, lazy, helpless, that he just opens his mouth and demands money from you? David. Jessica yelled, pushing hard against my chest with both hands. So you're drawing lines like this with me now, huh? My brother is my family. What's wrong with me spending a little money on him? Jessica stormed out, not forgetting to add before she left, if we can make this work, fine. If not, let's just get divorced. Divorce. This marriage definitely had to end, but not yet. Jessica's brother was like a leech, parasite, always finding new reasons to ask for money every month. The money Jessica took was enough to buy someone a new car, while I was still stuck riding a scooter, electric bike, working myself to death for mere pennies. A moment later, a text came in on my phone. Jessica had directly swiped $4,000. Jessica. You really have the nerve. I quickly changed my bank password online. If I don't get that money back, I'll be damned if I don't get that money back. My phone suddenly lit up. It was a message on the messaging app from that woman. I'll be back from my business trip soon. Let's meet. The next day at noon, I met the woman. She was wearing a sharp suit and carrying a briefcase, looking travel-worn, tired from her trip, clearly just back from a business trip. She spotted me right away. After all, a delivery driver in a yellow uniform vest, sitting in a coffee shop at midday instead of delivering food and drinking iced water, was quite noticeable. Before she even sat down, the woman asked directly, was that really Jessica? I didn't answer. Instead, I extended my hand. David. The woman glanced at my hand, but didn't shake it. She simply introduced herself. I'm Sarah. The person I asked you to photograph that day was my husband, Richard. His mistress is Jessica. Perhaps it was because I didn't introduce her as Jessica that Sir's gaze softened considerably. She sat across from me. Richard is a small business owner. He's accumulated quite a bit of money, but I truly didn't expect him to dare buy a small apartment, condo behind my back just to keep a mistress, secret apartment for his mistress. Sarah spoke indignantly, her pretty face etched with anger. I observed her carefully. She had a very delicate, doll-like face. She was different from Jessica, who had a subtly seductive allure. Sarah, however, was fresh and captivating. It was hard to look away. What are you looking at? Sarah asked, watching me warily. I quickly snapped back to attention and cleared my throat. I need to be clear, when you say you want to get revenge on Richard, do you intend for him to abandon Jessica and come back to you, or do you want to divorce him? Divorce, of course. A man who has been cheating, having an affair is always tainted. What good is he to me? I want you to cooperate with me, and make both of them pay the price. I've come here with sincerity to discuss this. I raised an eyebrow, motioning for her to continue. Sarah took a sip of water and said, Richard has no reproductive capability, is infertile. Whoa, that was bombshell news. But then, this scumbag, jerk could wantonly have affairs with no worries about consequences, but he doesn't know about it. We've been married for 3 years, and he's constantly pressured me to have a child, but it's never happened. He's always blamed me. Plus, he earned some ill-gotten money, filthy money, and kept calling me barren, unable to bear children every day. Later, I secretly added a test to his medical checkup, physical, and it turned out he was indeed infertile. I fell into thought. In that case, once he's unwittingly becoming a father, raising another man's child, you can get a smooth divorce. Sarah stared at me intently. So, I hope you can get Jessica pregnant. I refuse. I denied it without a second thought. The thought of Jessica sweetly, coyly calling Richard, honey, made me nauseated. I didn't even want to look at her, so how could I possibly agree to such a request? Sarah froze for a moment, clearly not expecting my refusal. She bit her lip, looking a bit flustered. Richard does have money, and some connections, network. This is the best revenge method I could think of. Seeing her helpless expression, my heart softened. I quickly stepped forward to comfort her. Revenge will certainly happen, but there's more than one way to achieve it. The information you brought today can certainly be very useful. Sarah and I sat in the coffee shop for a long time. Once we had made our preparations, we each went home. Jessica wasn't home when I got back. I asked Sarah, and Richard was also nowhere to be seen. It was clear what they were up to. I sent Jessica a text message on the messaging app, telling her to come home early, or I'd go pick her up from her workplace. Perhaps she was afraid I'd discover something, because she came back quickly. The moment she walked in, she started yelling, "Why are you back so early again? You earn so little, are you expecting me to support you? You useless loser." My veins were bulging in my arms. Why didn't she complain about me giving $4,000 to her brother for a phone? Now she was complaining I couldn't support her. No matter how much I earned, it wouldn't be enough for her to squander money. Wasteful. I suppressed my anger and brought the cooked dishes to the table. Don't be mad, Jessica. I noticed your appetite has been growing lately, so I specially made your favorite dishes. Come eat. Jessica sat down very reluctantly, her eyes still filled with disdain. I pretended not to notice and even served her some food, put some food on her plate. After a few bites, Jessica's stomach churned violently, and she immediately rushed to the bathroom to throw up. I followed her, saying excitedly, Jessica, with that reaction, could you be pregnant? That's wonderful. We're finally going to have a baby. Really? A flash of excitement flickered in Jessica's eyes. I knew that excitement wasn't for me, but rather a bargaining chip to secure her sugar daddy, financier. Ha, enjoy your happiness. Jessica was excited for a moment, then immediately reverted to a serious expression. No way, I don't think so. Maybe my stomach has just been a bit off lately. After saying that, she wiped her mouth and sat back down at the table, taking several more large bites. This time, she forced herself to swallow all the food, suppressing the urge to gag. I watched, amused. Well, eat up then. I'm off to work. With that, I turned and left. After all, every dish on the table was spiked, laced with something, and I certainly didn't want to try it myself. It was obvious. The moment I left, Jessica would call her dear lover, Richard. Whether it was true or not, this was her chance to cling to her meal ticket, sugar daddy. So even if she went to the hospital for a checkup, I wasn't worried. Even if they found she wasn't pregnant, she would choose to conceal it. All I had to do was nudge her, to get her to take the bait herself. As long as she was greedy enough, she would definitely fall into the trap. Sure enough, a few days later, Sarah contacted me. She said Richard wanted to divorce her, citing irreconcilable differences. I scoffed. It was obvious who was behind it. I just hadn't expected Jessica to react so quickly. In just a few days, she had convinced him, talked him into it, making Richard willing to give Sarah half of his assets just to get divorced. Sarah didn't hold back. She immediately contacted a lawyer to liquidate the assets, even uncovering the small apartment, condo Richard used for his rendezvous. Of course, Richard merely explained it as a property he had invested in previously. He naturally wouldn't admit to cheating, let alone getting Jessica pregnant. Sarah didn't say much, acting as if she knew nothing. It only took a few days to sign the agreement and finalize the divorce proceedings. In the blink of an eye, Sarah transformed overnight into a woman of means. Even I was envious, jealous. The assets and properties she received were enough to set me up for life. But Sarah wasn't entirely satisfied with this outcome. David, she said, I want those scumbags, the cheating couple, to get what's coming to them, face their retribution. Why did I get divorced so easily? I still have a score to settle, hold a grudge. That bastard, scumbag, is probably secretly laughing, thinking I never even knew he was cheating. I secretly cursed under my breath. Revenge was one thing, but with such a huge sum of money, what was there to be dissatisfied about? If it were me, I'd immediately take the money and go live it up, enjoy myself. Why bother with more revenge? But of course, I couldn't say that to Sir's face. I carefully explained, now that you're divorced, the assets have already been divided. If the company loses money now, it won't affect your share. Sarah understood immediately, got it, her spirits lifted. Then let's make a big scene, and make sure he loses everything, goes bankrupt. I certainly wanted that. It would be best if he never recover, be ruined for good in this lifetime. As we were talking, Sir's phone rang. It was an unlisted number, but I recognized it all too well. Wasn't it my wife, the one ready to cling to her meal ticket, sugar daddy? I immediately kept quiet, listening to their conversation from the side. Jessica's voice was light and arrogant, and her purpose was to meet Sarah. A meeting, phi. I definitely had to see what that brainless woman, idiot, would come up with. The day they met, I was eavesdropping at the next table. It was truly spectacular. Jessica spent the entire time arching her back and cradling her belly, as if afraid someone wouldn't notice she was pregnant. She sat down carefully and said provocatively, as you can see, I'm pregnant. It's Richard's. Don't let Sir's usual scatterbrained, flamboyant demeanor fool you. She was very composed at crucial moments. He and I are already divorced. If you want to scavenge, pick up scraps, that's your business. There's no need to specifically tell me. Some people can't have children, is barren, and yet are so self-righteous. I don't know where they get their confidence. They claim they divorced, but they were clearly kicked out of the house. From my angle, I happened to see Sarah roll her eyes dramatically. If you're just here to tell me these things, please leave. I'm actually starting to feel nauseated. Jessica's voice rose a few notches. Don't pretend you don't care. Let me tell you, Richard and I have been together for a long time. We're true love. You were just an obstacle in our way. Been together for a long time. When exactly? Jessica said openly, since the end of last year. It's been half a year now, and the baby in my belly is already a month old. See this. This is Richard's bank card. He told me to spend as I please. Sarah elegantly took a sip of tea. Half of his assets are mine now. How much money do you think is left for you? You. I couldn't believe how infuriating Chloe's words were. Too bad from where I sat, I couldn't see Ashley's face, or I would have loved to see how contorted it was with rage. From what I know, you're already married. That means you and Kevin will never be legitimate. You met through an affair, and do you think he won't abandon you again because of another affair? Ashley was getting agitated. You don't need to provoke me with these words. Just wait, I'll go back and get a divorce. Kevin will definitely marry me then. Then tell him to work hard and make money, because half of his assets are already in my hands. You'll only get a quarter of it. Those few words from Chloe really hit a nerve. After a few rounds, Ashley not only failed to provoke her, but she was infuriated and left. This was too comical. The moment Ashley walked out, I turned off the voice recorder and burst out laughing. Ashley thought she had fooled everyone and could control the whole situation. In reality, she was nothing more than a pathetic clown, putting on a show right under our noses. Thanks to Ashley's stupidity, Kevin's infidelity resulting in pregnancy was confirmed with undeniable evidence. As for whether he'd discover later that he couldn't have children and publicly announce it, that's another matter entirely. I handed the voice recorder to Chloe. It was more likely Ashley would discover it if I kept it on me. It was safer with Chloe. You did great work, thanks. I'll take care of things from here. David, Chloe said, a hint of worry in her voice. Ashley was quite arrogant. She might have already found a way to mess with you. Should I offer some of my money to help you out? I chuckled lightly, teasing. Why does that sound like I'm being showered with attention by a rich woman? Chloe's face instantly flushed. That's not what I meant. You've helped me so much. I should help you too. I smiled faintly. I had never asked Chloe how old she was, but that thought of hers seemed quite childish. That money is yours to keep. As for my money, I'll get it back myself. After saying goodbye to Chloe, I went straight home. Thinking about how much the situation had escalated, I had no mood for work. Ashley came home early today. She must have been eager to divorce me, not even having time to see her sugar daddy. Seeing me enter, she immediately started picking a fight. Are you just going to slack off like this? Not making any money. I guess you just don't want to be with me anymore, huh? I'd heard these words countless times, and was utterly sick of them. But for the sake of the upcoming plan, I composed myself, plastered on a smile, and said, honey, I won't have to be delivering food anymore. That job is exhausting and doesn't pay well. My high school buddy, Chris, is planning to start a business. He's already got the channels lined up, just waiting for me to join as a shareholder. Ashley was about to curse, but when she heard about being a shareholder, her interest was piqued. Does it make money if I invest? Why would I tell you if it didn't make money? Chris' previous projects made tens of millions. Even if I can't earn that much, I can still make a few million following him. We'll be rich then, and you won't have to deal with the frustrations at that small firm. I could even buy that small firm for him. By the end, I intentionally emphasized my tone, stressing that in the future, I'd be richer than Kevin, especially since Kevin had just had half of his assets taken by Chloe. She'd have to weigh which side offered more benefit. Ashley wasn't as excited. Instead, she fell into thought. After a long pause, she asked, is this business a guaranteed moneymaker? Absolutely, it's a guaranteed moneymaker. I pulled out my phone and showed her the prepared bank transfer record, a $50,000 transfer I'd had Chloe send me, which I then transferred back to that account. I've been watching this for a week, and I wouldn't tell you unless I was sure it was making money. Last week, I gave him $5,000, and in just a week, I saw returns. With a business like this, why would I bother delivering food? Ashley snatched the phone, staring at the bank transfer record for several moments before looking up, excitedly asking, have the $50,000 you earned already been invested? Of course. I lowered my voice, speaking conspiratorially. Honestly, this is fast money. With such a high return rate now, it might not last. Then hurry and invest all the money. Ashley exclaimed. I shook my head and sighed. I'm out of money. All my savings are invested. Honey, all the money I earned before, I gave to Jake, Ashley's brother. Do you think you could ask him to pay me back first? Once I ride this golden opportunity, he can have as much as he wants. Ashley didn't answer. Her brother's money was certainly irrecoverable. He had squandered all the money he'd taken over the years. I didn't expect to get that money back anyway. My goal was the money Kevin had given Ashley. Fine, you wait. I'll go ask him. Ashley gritted her teeth and agreed. Ashley was quick. The next day, she brought over a bank card with a full $500,000 on it. It was indeed a considerable sum, but I had expected it. Kevin's assets had been split in half, and Ashley, as the newcomer, was definitely feeling unbalanced. The only way for her to feel balanced was to divorce me and take half of my assets. At this crucial moment, when I said we could strike it rich, who wouldn't get carried away? Chloe told me Kevin wasn't a generous person, so even if Ashley was pregnant, he wouldn't give her such a large sum. So, either Ashley got the money herself, or she painted a grand picture for Kevin and strong-armed him into giving it to her. I didn't care how the money came about. I only cared how much ended up in my hands. I grinned and said to Ashley, "Honey, with this money, we're going to make a fortune." Look, that day I invested $50,000, and in just a few days, it turned into $150,000. Of course, this bank transfer record was fake, but Ashley didn't notice any of that. After making money twice in a row, anyone would be convinced. Ashley gritted her teeth. My brother isn't married yet. Let's mortgage the house meant for his marriage first. Once we earn it back in a few days, we'll stop. I was practically bursting with joy. I nodded vigorously. Investment always has risks, so we'll just invest this one time, and then we'll quit while we're ahead. Seeing me so cautious, Ashley trusted me even more. She went back and mortgaged her brother's house, the airhead, even using her own state ID for the mortgage. That was perfect. After receiving the money, I immediately transferred it to Chloe's account, and then I was done with my part. A few days later, Ashley came to me. "David Lee, how's that investment of yours doing? Can we cash out some of it? I took out a short-term loan for the mortgage, and the repayment date is approaching." I immediately sat up on the sofa, my face full of feigned worry. "Honey, we can't withdraw any money now. The market is volatile, and everything we bought with our money got stuck with unsellable assets. Chris is already trying to salvage the situation, but it might take 2 or 3 years to get the principal back." 2 or 3 years? Ashley exclaimed. She couldn't wait 2 or 3 years, not for the loan, nor for the fake baby in her belly. Ashley was dumbfounded. She grabbed my collar and shook me. "You're a liar. Give me my money back. Give me my money back." I grabbed her hands, freeing my collar. "What's all this, your money, and my money? Isn't this all our marital property? Don't worry, our money will definitely come back. Your salary is higher now, and I'll work hard to earn more. We'll definitely fill this financial hole." Ashley pushed me away. "What a joke of marital property. My money is my asterisk money. Over $800,000 wasted, and you expect me to help you pay it back? You still have the nerve to say I earn a lot. Are you planning to live off me from now on?" I feigned innocence. "Didn't you agree when I took the money? Investments have risks. Who could have known this golden opportunity would pass so quickly?" Ashley yelled. "I agreed for you to make money, not lose it. I'm telling you, there's no way I'm lowering my standard of living because of your screw-up." Watching Ashley get more and more agitated, I suddenly wanted to see how crazy this woman could get, so I added some fuel to the fire. "Don't worry, once this whole mess blows over, I'll definitely raise your standard of living back up. But right now, the most important thing is to sell the house. Before, to earn a bit more, I even borrowed money from some organizations, $300,000. If we sell this house, after paying off the rest, we'll have enough to rent a decent place." "Rent a place? David Lee, do you have no shame? I want a divorce. I think you must have gone out gambling. I demand you leave with nothing." I chuckled softly. "You want me to leave with nothing? Then what about your infidelity? And with your own boss?" Ashley froze for a second, then immediately raised her voice. "You suspect me, huh? I think you're the one who cheated. Delivering food, and you still dare to go out flirting. You're pathetic." Usually, when someone shouts like that, it means they have something to hide. I sneered. "You're the one who cheated, aren't you? With Kevin. And there's his child too." My finger pointed at Ashley's belly, slowly tracing over it, as if I wanted to slice it open. Ashley stood frozen, her face ashen. "You." However, in a few seconds, Ashley regained her composure, looking at me with disdain. "Since you already know, then you should realize the huge gap between you and him. You could deliver food your whole life, and never reach his level. Even though I orchestrated all of this." Hearing Ashley's words still made me sick to my stomach. I grabbed a handful of Ashley's hair. Cheating and still acting so self-righteous. Who gave you the nerve? Ashley's body was yanked backward by my pull, and her mouth was full of curses, insulting my family. I slapped her, sending her sprawling onto the sofa. My own curses were just as nasty, and finally, the pent-up anger of the past few days was released. Ashley scrambled to her feet, her eyes filled with an unusual resolve. Fine, then, let's say I cheated. I'll leave with nothing. You deal with your debts yourself, they have nothing to do with me. I sat down and lit a cigarette. Are you so sure Kevin will help you pay off your debts? That's none of your business. Now, get up, let's get divorced. Of course, I didn't refuse. I stood up briskly, grabbed the documents I'd already prepared, and headed out, completely ignoring the shocked Ashley behind me. There was no line at the county clerk's office today, so we quickly finalized the divorce. Ashley didn't even go back to pack her things, just told me to throw everything away, then turned and left. I wasn't surprised. Her arrogance was simply because she was convinced Kevin would take care of her, right? Well, we'd see if that marriage would even happen. The next morning, I took Chloe and waited outside the county clerk's office. Sure enough, we spotted the two of them. Now that they could be openly together, they were even more brazenly close. Ashley clung tightly to Kevin's arm, acting like a delicate bird. Ugh, these two are disgusting. Divorced yesterday, getting married today. I fanned myself with the hand fan, wiping away sweat. It was really hot in the middle of summer. Ashley mortgaged the house because of my trap. To pay back the money, she'll definitely have to use the baby to force Kevin to marry her. Chloe watched the disgusting pair walk towards us and let out a chuckle. I'm already looking forward to Kevin's reaction. With that, Chloe stood up and walked towards them, carrying a document in her hand. I didn't move, hiding in a nearby corner, where I could clearly hear their conversation. Chloe walked up to them, her tone light. Well, are you two getting married? From my vantage point, I could see Ashley's expression perfectly. One moment she was delicate and demure, the next she put on a defiant smirk. Yes, we're getting married. Our child can't be without a home. Kevin, meanwhile, shielded Ashley behind him. Chloe, we've already broken up. I hope we can start our own lives and not bother each other. Chloe completely ignored Kevin, crossing her arms over her chest as she looked at Ashley. Are you sure you're pregnant? Of course. I'm telling you, Kevin divorced you because you couldn't have children. Now that I can help him continue his lineage, he'll naturally choose me. Ashley said, puffing out her chest and stroking her flat stomach. Kevin glared at Chloe, terrified she would do something to Ashley. You've already received the property you're entitled to, please don't. Before he could finish, Chloe interrupted him. She slapped the document right onto Kevin's chest. Precisely because I took half of your assets, I have to warn you, read this document before you go inside to get married. Kevin looked confused, but then he saw it was a copy of his own medical report. He must have remembered that physical exam, and his expression turned serious. After a moment, he abruptly turned and pushed Ashley to the ground. Ashley was startled, looking at him in disbelief. Are you crazy? I'm pregnant. Why would you push me? Kevin's eyes were bloodshot. He yelled, accusingly, Whose? Are you talking about the baby? Of course, it's yours. Why would I marry you if it wasn't? Don't listen to that woman, she's just trying to stir up trouble between us. At this point, Chloe had already settled onto a nearby staircase, propping her chin on her hand, openly enjoying the show. Ashley was frantic. She kept trying to soothe Kevin, coaxing him to go into the county clerk's office, but Kevin wouldn't budge an inch. Ashley, you stole my bank card and blew $500,000 just like that, and I didn't even blame you. Haven't I been good enough to you? Why are you doing this to me? Ashley's voice rose a few pitches. Haven't we already talked about this? That card was your wedding gift, financial, to me. Why bring it up again? Besides, we're getting married soon, why are we still talking about yours and mine? No more marriage. What marriage? You go do whatever you need to do, no more marriage. Ashley suddenly flared up. I'm pregnant with your child. You think you can just dump me? I'm telling you, no way. We are getting married today. Kevin's face was still grim. He kicked Ashley in the shin. Get lost. At this point, Ashley no longer cared about her image. She lunged forward and grabbed Kevin's hair. You don't want to get married, huh? Fine. Everyone, come and see. This scumbag wants to abandon me while I'm pregnant. There were quite a few people around, and many had already noticed the commotion. Shut up. I have nothing to do with you. Kevin roared. What do you mean, nothing to do with me? I divorced for you. You have to support me, damn it. Kevin cursed. I can't have kids, *PFFT, I really couldn't hold it in. I had just taken a sip of water and immediately spit it out laughing. I never thought Kevin would be so bold, shouting that he couldn't have children in front of so many people. What a man. At that declaration, Ashley was also stunned. She didn't speak for a long time, eventually murmuring, "You can't have children. I'm infertile. I'd like to know, where did that child in your belly come from?" Ashley panicked. She stepped forward, trying to embrace Kevin, but he kicked her away. "Kevin, let me explain." "Explain what?" "You seduced me, destroyed my family, and cheated on me. I'm going to kill you." Ashley was terrified. She ran, crying and shouting, I'm not pregnant. It was all a lie. "Kevin, you have to believe me. We're true love." The drama between the two of them was mostly recorded. I turned off my phone's video function, and went to sit beside Chloe. Chloe had somehow gotten some snacks and offered them to me. "Popcorn, peanuts, want some?" I took a bag of snacks and leisurely watched the two of them still wrestling. "Do you think they'll still stay together?" Chloe asked. I shook my head. If they can still be together after all this, they'd truly be doing the world a favor. Doing the world a favor, huh? Chloe chuckled. "Well, then, I wish them a happy family." No sooner had she spoken than Kevin, who had been wrestling, suddenly ran over and knelt before Chloe, pleading urgently, "Chloe, it was all my fault before. That woman blinded me. Please forgive me. Can we get back together?" Chloe glanced at him, then simply extended her foot and kicked him aside. "Get lost. Don't interrupt my show." Kevin probably didn't recognize me. He completely failed to notice my presence. Meanwhile, Ashley ran over and started yelling curses at me. "What are you doing here? How are you two sitting together? I know. You conspired to drive a wedge between us." I put down my peanuts and openly admitted, "Why not? But isn't it your own fault it came to this? Kevin really can't have children. That's not something we can control." Ashley shrieked. "Kevin. Did you hear that? They're ganging up on me. You have to stand with me." Before Kevin could argue, I spoke first. "Yes, we definitely wanted revenge on you too. An advertising agency boss exploiting his position with a subordinate, getting her pregnant, then getting into a public brawl outside the county clerk's office. Pretty shocking headline, wouldn't you say?" As I spoke, I sent out the video footage I had just recorded, right in front of them. "No." Kevin quickly snatched the phone and threw it to the ground. It didn't matter, though. I had already sent it. I stared at the shattered phone on the ground. "Deliberately destroying someone else's property, Mr. Kevin. Are you going to pay for it, or are you coming with me to the police station?" Kevin gritted his teeth. "I'll buy you a new one." Later, that video footage went viral online. Chloe felt the situation wasn't dramatic enough, so she successfully uploaded the video I had recorded when I helped her with catching him cheating, as well as the audio recording of Ashley showing up to provoke me. That completely blew up. Kevin's reputation plummeted, and no one dared to work with him anymore. Half a month after the events unfolded, Kevin and Ashley came to find me together. I originally didn't want to deal with them, but their attitude was truly too sincere. They knelt down the moment they entered. I sat on the sofa, with each of them clinging to one of my legs. Kevin looked much older. "David, please, let me off the hook. My company has gone bankrupt, and I truly have no money left. I shouldn't have seduced your wife. Please be the bigger person and help me clarify things. Just say that the person in the video footage isn't me." Ashley's face was streaked with tears, and she chimed in, Yes, David Lee, we were married after all. Please help me. That $500,000 I gave you for the investment, it was Kevin's money. Now he's reported to the police that I stole his money, and the bank is already hounding me for repayment. Please help me figure something out. I truly have no money left." Kevin immediately turned his head. "What's wrong with you, woman? Didn't we agree to plead together before we came?" Ashley said tearfully. "Then why did you report me to the police for stealing your money? Aren't you just trying to drive me to my death?" The two of them started fighting again, only this time, instead of standing outside the county clerk's office, they were kneeling and fighting in front of me. I said. The moment I spoke, they immediately fell silent. I cleared my throat. "You want me to clarify things, but everything I filmed was the truth. I didn't spread any rumors, so what is there to clarify? As for Ashley, when we were married, I helped your brother quite a bit. Now it's his turn to be grateful. You should go ask him for help." After saying that, I felt immensely satisfied. After all these years of being oppressed by her incessant enabling of her brother, I finally got my revenge. I directly showed them out, and from then on, I would no longer concern myself with either of them.